attending and participating in local township government. This meeting has a twofold effect today. The two things we want to get done today is Resolution 2022-40 to appointment of Deputy Fiscal Officer of Dan Matsko pertinent to the Ohio Revised Code of 507.02. The other thing is that we are going to do Resolution 2022-41 accepting the amount and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. So we're going to start out with the Resolution 2022-41 accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission. I will read this resolution and we'll fill in as accordingly. The Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County are meeting in a special session on the first day of December 2022. Present were Eugene McCune Jr., Patrick J. Cavanaugh, and Michael J. Troyan. I am, as treasurer or as chairman, moving for the adoption of the following resolution. Whereas, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 507.02, when a township fiscal officer is unable to carry out the duties of the office because of illness, military service, a court-ordered suspension, or the fiscal officer is otherwise incapacitated or disqualified, a Board of Township Trustees shall appoint a deputy fiscal officer who shall have full power to discharge the duties of the office. I'm sorry, we're doing the fiscal officer first, I'm sorry. Whereas the Auburn Township Fiscal Officer is unable to carry out the duties of the office due to his current incarceration. Whereas the Auburn Township Board of Trustees find it necessary to appoint a Deputy Fiscal Officer to carry out the duties of the Auburn Township Fiscal Officer in his absence. Whereas it is necessary to adjust and determine the compensation of the Township Fiscal Officer and the Deputy Fiscal Officer as required under the Ohio Revised Code Section 507.02. The total compensation for both the fiscal officer and any deputy fiscal officer cannot exceed the sums fixed by the Ohio Revised Code Section 507.09 in any year. Now therefore be it resolved by the Auburn Township Board of Trustees that Dan Matsko is appointed Deputy Fiscal Officer for the Auburn Township effective December 1st, 2022. Be it further resolved that Dan Matsko, Fred May is the current, Be it further resolved that Dan Matsko is the current Assistant Fiscal Officer for the Township and will continue to carry his job duties as Assistant Fiscal Officer while also carrying out the duties as Deputy Fiscal Officer. Therefore, be it further resolved that for the time period that the fiscal officer is unable to carry out the duties of the office, compensation for the township fiscal officer and deputy fiscal officer shall be adjusted and fixed as follows. The township fiscal officer will make $0 per day, and the deputy fiscal officer will make $62.89 per day. Be it further resolved that this is an emergency resolution which is necessary for the immediate preservation of the public health, safety, and welfare of Auburn Township. Do I have a second to that resolution?
I will second that.
P.J. Cavanaugh seconded the resolution, and the roll call being called upon is adopted, and the vote results as follows. Dan?
Gene?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Okay. Adopted this first day of December 2002.
And thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Okay. Number 1. And Dan will be given the oath of office after the township meeting. All right. Our second resolution is 2022-41, accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Okay. Resolution accepting the amounts and rates is determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. The Auburn Township Board of Trustees of Auburn Township of Geauga County met in a special meeting on the first day of December 2022 at the office of the Auburn Township Board of Trustees. Present were Michael Troyan, P.J. Kavanaugh, Eugene McHugh Jr. I'm going to make a motion to move the adoption of the following resolution. Resolved by the Auburn Township Board of Trustees, Auburn Township, Geauga County, in accordance with the provisions of law has previously adopted as a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing on January 1st, 2023. And whereas the Budget Commission of Geauga County, Ohio has certified its actions thereon to this board together with the estimate by the county auditor for the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this board, and what part thereof is without and what part within the 10 mil tax limitation. Therefore, be it resolved by the Auburn Township Board of Trustees, Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in this certification can be and the same as hereby accepted, and further resolved that there will be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said Auburn Township the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitations based on Schedules A and Schedule B attached to this resolution. The other thing that has to be signed, it'll have to be signed by Dan, Deputy Clerk of the Board of Auburn Township, C, the said township and county, and whose custody the files and records of said council are required by laws of the state of Ohio to be kept, do hereby certify that the foregoing is taken and copied from the original now on file with said board, that the foregoing has been compared by me with said original document, and that the same is true and correct copy therefore, witnessed by my signature, and Dan will take care of that.
Okay, did you read that as making a motion to adopt?
I did, I said I would make the motion to adopt that resolution.
You need a second.
Yeah.
Mike seconded it.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. So I believe, unless there's any comments from the board or from the audience, we will adjourn this meeting. Any comments, questions? Anybody on the board or in the audience?
Congratulations, Dan.
Yep, thanks, Dan.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
Gene.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. 11:10.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not gonna Dan here.
I was looking at the clock.
You can swear him in whenever you want.
Oh, you are, you're the.
I mean, I'll swear him in, but you have to notarize it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
That's why I'm watching you.
When you're
Stand
done reading the
up,
notes,
stand
you
up.
stand
Don't
up.
want to be accused of taking a knee here.
Oh. This isn't football.
Yeah, but it's been, yes, please, I'll speak about it.
Mike. All right, Mr. Masco, repeat after me. I, Dan J. Masco, do solemnly swear
I, Dan J. Masco, do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will discharge the duties of Deputy Fiscal Officer
and that I will discharge the duties of Deputy Fiscal Officer
in Auburn Township
in Auburn Township
in Geauga County with high fidelity.
in Geauga County with high fidelity.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
You notice I
Welcome
read small
aboard.
things at a time so that you wouldn't forget it. Nancy will do that. And
Hey, Dan,
I went up to the bank yesterday just to kind of ask what we needed to do with signature cards. They were closed because they had no power. So I got nothing done. I don't know what we need to do this morning.
The one damn job you have.
That's it.
One job.
That
One
was it.
job.
Probably be better to try, can you do it tomorrow?
Whenever's good for
I can
you.
give them a call and see what's.
Well, I'm going there anyway for that. I assume they're open.
I would tell you,
You want me to suss this
as
all out?
this meeting is over,
I'll go right up there.
we have no more to report about the fiscal officer, and you probably have as much information as any of the three of us have. So whatever's on record or whatever, you have access to that, and that's as much information as the three of us have.
You don't know, like, you don't have an estimate of when he might be
We have,
returning?
I have nothing.
Okay, and you don't know if he's gonna resume his duties?
We have no idea yet.
Okay,
Which is why we set the salary per diem.
okay. And how many, like, how many days normally does, the deputy fiscal officer work? Or do you expect, how many does he expect?
It's not a full-time job, but he works as needed.
Okay. Alright. And how long have you been a deputy fiscal officer?
About 2
10
minutes.
minutes.
Or, the assistant fiscal officer, sorry.
Since July 18th.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's a wrap. You guys go back to work?
Huh?
You have to go back to work?
Well, I didn't know how long this was gonna take, so I normally start at 6, I went in early.